So today we're going to have a go at replacing some grommets on a little Venco compact wheel. This one's had a couple of after the fact modifications on it, which is going to need a little bit of messing around with. That foot pedal's not quite working, and this little thing here that's been added is causing a couple of problems, but other than that it's going to be pretty straightforward. This one was made in, there we go, August 89, and the condition of the drive wheel, on the rubber on the drive wheel, is it's not too bad. When new ones become available, this one probably will need to be replaced. There's some little fine cracks there on the rubber, as you can see there. There's a couple of little cracks. Okay, let's get going. All right, I'm just going to spray a little bit of WD-40 on places where I've got to work. It always makes it easier. And then I'm going to undo the bolts holding the whole chassis in. So take off wheel pedal, undo this one here, which is not normally bolted on, but someone's threaded that rod and put a bolt on it. And then I can take the whole motor out. Okay, we're ready to flip the motor out, but first you just have to unhook that spring that's down here. And I'll just get my hand in there and do that. And now we should be able to pull this motor out. Okay, so there it is. So where the grommets are in this, these ones take 8 small grommets, as opposed to the number 3 wheels, which has 4 large and 4 small. So there's 1, 2, and up here 3, 4 over on there. And on the motor, and this thing, there's 1 on either side of the motor and 1 on either end of this shaft here. So 1 in there and 1 in there. So we're going to pull all that to bits and then stick some grommets in it. While you're at this, a wheel that's this age and has probably never had the wheel head out, I'm actually going to take the drive wheel off, take the wheel head out, and just check to make sure that all the little O-rings and washers and fiber washers are in there, and re-grease it. So to get this off, I just need to undo this bolt here, and then the whole shaft should just pull up, and when I flip it over outside, the wheel head will pop out. Right, so here's the wheel head, the drive wheel I've taken out, and as you can see here, there is quite a bit of cracking in this. Unfortunately, at the moment, these wheels, replacement wheels for this model, aren't available from Venco, but there is a fellow in South Australia, I think, who is doing replacements on here, and that link to him is on the Wordpress site. Right, this is in pretty good nick, really, underneath here. I don't think the wheels had a hell of a lot of use. That's all straight, and there's no pitting or unusual problems in there. inside of there you can see that there's a fibre washer and a rubber o-ring which is in good nick and it's still in place, and in here is another o-ring, so that should be fine. And I'm just going to add, it's a bit dry, so we'll add some grease in there before we put that back in. Right, you might just be able to see here the yellow brass sleeves that are inside the metal shaft, and these over time can wear. I've never really had to do many of these, and it's a real nuisance because you basically got to punch these through, and it's not easy. So unless you really have to do it, and then I wouldn't bother. And the way you can tell whether they are needed is that when that wheel head is in, I'll just pop him back in there now, is that I can grab hold of it and move it from side to side, and there's absolutely no movement in that, so it's fine. There's no need to replace those sleeves. Okay, we've got some grease in here and there, and a little bit around there, the shaft. Now when you are going to put this and put the wheel head back on, you need to support this when you flip it over, otherwise you won't be able to get the drive wheel on properly. So what I do is I put it on to a piece, so this will be flipped over with that piece of wood underneath, and that will stop this from turning or drop it or coming up like that when I try to put the wheel head on. Right, and here's the 3 washers that go on the bottom of the shaft before the drive wheel goes on. So there's a stainless steel washer and 2 fibre washers, and they just go on there. And then I'll pop the drive wheel on and tighten that up. Right, so I've had the grommets soaking in some hot water for a little while, and I'm just going to use what is my version of what's called a pie bolt to get the grommets in. So this side just goes through the hole that way. Okay, it sticks through there. This is a little bit of a pain in the ass because I've only got 2 hands, and I'm just, so the grommet, can you see if we can see? Okay, where is it? Okay, there's the grommet. The flat, there's a curved side and a flat side. The flat side goes out, so I'm putting the curved side through the hole there. Okay, now I'm just going to tighten up that wing nut, and then that will push the grommet into the hole. It's always good to take stacks of photos when you're pulling one of these to bits, especially if you're doing it for the first time, just so that you make sure that you know where everything goes when you come back. So where these bolt onto the side that's got the side that's got the arm for the pedal on it has an extra bolt in here as a spacer, whereas on this side the bolt just goes straight through into the frame of the motor. Okay, so we've got it all back together again, and just run into a bit of a problem here. Someone's had a serious fiddle with the motor adjustment bolt, which is down there, and what's happening is that when it's in the top position, it's just not quite reaching it's just coming across too far there. You might be able to see that I can rest the cone there on the edge of the wheel, so that shouldn't be able to make contact with that. So I've just got to adjust that now so that doesn't happen. Okay, so we're all done, and now we'll just connect it up and see how she runs. Right, motor sounds good. There's no bearing noise there, and down we go, and sweet, full speed. And I'm just going to try and see if I can stop the wheel, and no, that's good and hard. So that's an excellent result. With the extra mucking around with the motor positioning bolts that someone had been played around with, it took me about 2 hours all up to do all that work. That's good. Bye.